the first thing I wanted to say in this connection, we have already manufactured the first serial production Oreshnik missile complex, and it's already been fielded. It is now a serially produced weapon. Number two, our specialists from Belarus and from Russia have selected the future deployment site, the location, and preparations are underway. So most likely before the end of the year, we will solve this. Honestly, our troops are advancing along the entire battle line, along the entire front line. Donetsk Republic and Lugansk and Zaporozhye and Kherson, everywhere they are advancing, thanks to the valor and bravery of our guys. We are in a special place right now, a church in memory of all Russian warriors who died in all times on motherland. And today's positive dynamics on the front line is due to the heroism of our guys. But we must remember the warriors who never came back from battlefields, because they created the conditions for today's fighters to advance, to have this opportunity. I think it's a joint. We need to give credit for them. No life was lost in vain in this regard. Well, just recently, you may have heard they took Chasiv Yar, and I can say for sure that this is true. Our troops have claimed Chasiv Yar several days ago, but probably there may have been some attempts at counterattacking. And I think it shows that the supreme leadership of Ukraine is poorly informed of the developments on the front line, but that's their problem. In general, the dynamic is positive. Our enemies, our ill-wishers, recently talked about the need to deliver strategic defeat to Russia on the battlefield. Now their rhetoric is different. They're hell-bent on stopping our offensive at any costs, either by promises of good life or by threats to rearm Ukraine, to stop our advance and then try to rearm Ukraine. Once again, we need a long-lasting peace on a good foundation that would satisfy both Russia and Ukraine and ensure security. And probably Ukrainian negotiators are right, who very carefully proposed talking about the concept of European security in general. Yes, they are still the same, of course. The goals of Russia remain the same, but until that, we've been told it's unclear what Russia wants. Well, we formulated those goals last June last year, at a meeting with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The most important is to eliminate the root cause of the conflict. And of course, there are humanitarian issues, security issues in the broad sense. By the way, from the Ukrainian delegation, there was an idea that probably makes sense to be talking about the security of Ukraine and Russia in the context of the general European security. That was said by one of the leaders of Ukraine's delegation. And in general, I think this is correct. We share this position. And humanitarian issues, like the one of the Russian language, independence, and decent conditions for Orthodox Church and Christianity in Ukraine, all this in general must be discussed and serve as the foundation for a long-term, unlimited peace. Zelensky said that needs to see why, to wait for the regime to change before starting any negotiations. Well, they can wait. If Ukrainian leadership thinks they should wait, well, of course, please be our guests. We're ready to wait. And second, our political regime is based on the constitution of the Russian Federation, and our government works in strict compliance with the fundamental law of the Russian Federation, unlike what we see in Ukraine. I won't go into details, but today's power in Ukraine is not based on Ukraine's constitution.